are not working. Okay, so this is actually my third attempt at recording this now. For those of you who follow me on Instagram and Twitter, you'll see that I tried recording this last night and I used a different camera and it died halfway through filming, and I didn't realise it had died until I went to edit the footage and only half the footage was there. I was pre-coffee when this happened. It was first thing in the morning and I hadn't had a coffee. I had my first coffee sitting next to me when I discovered that I only had half the footage, and I was absolutely devastated. And this evening I have tried to record this on 2 different occasions, but I had a power cut. So they say third time is a charm, so I'm going to get on with this just in case something else happens that stops me from recording, or something catastrophic happens or something, I don't know. So coming in at number 30, I have Soulfly's Totem, which was released in August through Nuclear Blast Records. And this is just 40 minutes of pure blistering mayhem. I've always been a really big fan of Soulfly. I mean, I've loved everything that Max Cavalera has done, from Sepultura, Soulfly, Cavalera Conspiracy, and this album does not disappoint at all. You've got your groovy metal, you've got your thrash metal, all mashed together, and it is just absolute blistering mayhem. It's an amazing record. Favourite track on the album is definitely the title track, Totem. So yeah, coming in at number 30, I have Soulfly's Totem. Coming in at number 29, I have Black Braid 1, which was released in August. I believe it was a self-released album, and this is just an absolutely stunning record. It's Native American black metal and it is absolutely beautiful. It's about 36 minutes long and there's only 6 tracks on the record altogether, but it does incorporate a lot of Native American themes just to give the black metal that extra layer. My favourite track off this album, and forgive me if I'm pronouncing this incorrectly, I will put the title here, but it's Sacandaga. Now, the reason I liked this track in particular is it's an absolutely blistering black metal track from beginning to end. However, right at the very end, it does incorporate some windpipes or wooden pipes, and it is just absolutely beautiful. It's so atmospheric, and it really gives that track an extra boost of life towards the end. So yeah, number 29, I have Black Braid 1. Coming in at number 28, I have a UK-based deathcore death metal band, and that is Ingested, Ashes Lie Still. This was just released in November via Metal Blade Records. Groovy riffs, insane drumming, some very brutal vocals. There's also quite a lot of guest vocals on this album. There's Sven of Aborted and Trivium's Matt Heafy. And from beginning to end, this record is just absolute chaos, and it is absolutely amazing. If you're looking for a deathcore death metal band that's just blistering speed from beginning to end, definitely check these guys out. So number 28 is Ingested, Ashes Lie Still. So coming in at number 27, and again, if I pronounce this band incorrectly, I apologise, but I will put the title here. It's Guerilla Mirage, which was released in September via Season of Mist, and this is just another stunning black metal album. Anyone who's followed me for long enough will know that I really like my music to be theatrical, over the top, dramatic, really layered, really atmospheric, fast-paced but melodic at the same time, and this record has all of that combined. The bands themselves are shrouded in like black masks or black cloaks or hoods with gold emblems on the front, and I think it just adds to the atmosphere. I think this, both image-wise and musically, this band are absolutely amazing. It is just absolutely packed with aggressive beauty, and it's both melodic and really extreme at the same time. However, each track does have something different to offer, so it doesn't sound samey throughout. Favourite track of this album is definitely the title track again, Mirage. So yeah, coming in at number 27, it's Guerilla Mirage. Now, number 26 that I have on my list here came to me as a bit of a surprise. Normally I don't listen to power metal or battle metal. It just doesn't strike a chord with me. I have to be very, very particular about it. But this album just absolutely blew me away. And that's Sabaton, The War to End All Wars. This was released way back in March via Nuclear Blast Records, and the album itself is centred all around various events and various people in World War One. You know, it's catchy, it's blistering, it just charges at you, it's rapid, it's melodic, and despite the subject matter, is actually quite uplifting and quite rousing as well. Favourite tracks off this record are Soldier of Heaven and Race to the Sea. So yeah, number 26 is Sabaton, The War to End All Wars. So coming in at number 25 is a band that I've been listening to since my early teenage years, and it's probably one of the bands that I've seen live the most. I think I might have seen them about 7, 8, 9 times roughly. So this band has a lot of nostalgia for me. So coming in at number 25, I have Machine Head of Kingdom and Crown, which was released in August through Nuclear Blast Records. Now, personally speaking, I think that this is the best album since 2007's Blackening. I did lose track with Machine Head shortly after Blackening. You know, there was only a couple of tracks here and there that I really liked. There wasn't really a full album of theirs that I really appreciated until now. I believe that the band have a new lease of life, and this is definitely, in my opinion, the best record that they've released since the Blackening. I did see quite a lot of controversy about this album when it was first released on Metal Twitter, where a lot of people kind of gave up during the first track of the album, which I can understand because it's a 10-minute monster and the first 3 minutes is very slow, it's very gradual, there's not a lot happening as it slowly builds up. Once you get past that 3-minute stage, it just bursts straight out the gate and it charges. It's off, it's away. Favourite tracks off this album are Unhallowed and Rotten. Number 25 is Machine Head of Kingdom and Crown. Coming in at number 24 is a band and a record that absolutely blew up across metal Twitter, and that was Malevolence, Malicious Intent. This was released back in May via Nuclear Blast Records, and it's metalcore meets groove metal, and this album is just as blistering as it is catchy. It has ridiculously catchy hooks. It's got amazing riffs, it's got amazing drumming. The drumming is just absolutely insane on this album. There's a great contrast between the guttural vocals and the deep, clean vocals and all of the breakdowns. There are breakdowns everywhere in this record and it's brilliant. When I first listened to this record, I got some heavy Hatebreed and Killswitch Engage vibes from it, so if those are bands that you really like and you haven't checked out Malevolence, Malicious Intent yet, I highly suggest that you do so because I think you will like it. Favourite tracks off this album are Life Sentence, Unbroken Glass, and Still Waters Run Deep. So yeah, coming in at number 24 is Malevolence, Malicious Intent. Coming in at number 23 is an album that was released way back in February via Despots Records, and that was Night Rage Abyss Rising. It's Greek/Swedish melodic death metal. And this record in particular is the conclusion of a 3-part story centred around Dante's Inferno. That is definitely something I will be delving into on this channel at some point. I did have the opportunity to speak to the founding member and the guitarist Mario from Night Rage, and he is very excited about the future of the band and where he plans on taking the band next. Favourite tracks off this record are definitely the title track Abyss Rising and Dance of Cerberus. So coming in at number 23, it was Night Rage, Abyss Rising. Next up at number 22 is a band that I've been listening to since my early teens again. I think this part of the list has been quite nostalgic for me, I have to admit. I have absolutely loved this band for years, and I had the opportunity to see them live back at the Download Festival in 2013, and I really hope I get the opportunity to see them again. It's Rammstein Zeit, which was released back in April via Universal Music. Now this record is quite dark and foreboding, and there's a lot of speculation online regarding whether this is meant to be a farewell album, especially considering when you get towards the end of the record, it does have a lot of heavy emphasis on goodbye. So whether this is the last album that we're ever going to get from Rammstein or not remains to be seen. Now, it's not as heavy as previous records. It is quite somber in places and quite slow, but then you also have your upbeat kind of typical Rammstein tracks as well. Favourite tracks of this record are definitely Angst and Giftig. Giftig is, again, if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, I apologise, but my German is not the greatest. Giftig is probably one of their more upbeat kind of tracks, and Angst is probably one of the heavier tracks off the album as well. So coming in at number 22, I've got Rammstein's Zeit. So coming in at number 21, which is the final entry on the list for this particular video, is an artist that I have an awful lot of respect for, and this is a solo project of his that he started writing during the various COVID lockdowns, and that is Sakis Tollis, Among the Fires of Hell. This was self-released back in March, and it's a very distinct Sakis Tollis sound. You can definitely tell that he is the driving force behind Rotten Christ, and Rotten Christ are one of my all-time favourite bands. It does have that very typical sound of his. It centres around all of the anti-religious themes. It's melodic, it's catchy, it's very dark, and it draws you in, and melodies get stuck in your head for ages. Like I said, I am a huge Rotten Christ fan, and this solo project of his is definitely up there. Favourite tracks off this album are definitely the title track, and I quite like We, the Fallen Angels and Ad Astra. So yeah, number 21, and the final entry for this part of the list is Sakis Tollis, Among the Fires of Hell. We are officially halfway through my top 40 albums of 2022, and I don't know about anybody else, but I always really struggle with these lists. You know, the first 10, 40 to 31, I always really struggle. I have no idea where to start, how to order it, but the further up the list I go, the easier it seems to be for me. I don't know if it's like that for anybody else. Once again, thanks for watching, it's very much appreciated. If you could like, share and subscribe, comment down below any of the albums that you've checked out because of this video and let me know what you think. And I'll be back soon with the next portion of my top 40 of 2022, which will be counting down number 20 to 11.